What's going on, gamers? NaMeLeSS here, and today I'm going to be doing my review on the Division beta test. This is the second go around for the Division beta test. I told you guys I was going to make this review on the last video that I made, my comeback video, where I showed the HQ as you see in the background. So let's just try to jump right into this review really quick. I'm going to try to make this short as possible. Now, the Division is the most anticipated game that I have had in a very, very long time. I have been waiting for this game to come out for about two and a half years now, March 8th still seems like another year away from here. I still can't wait for this game to come out. I thought the beta test went pretty well, personally for myself. One thing that irritated the fuck out of me was that you had to create a new character on this second beta test. I could not understand why they couldn't take our characters that we created on the first beta test and just brought them back over to the second beta test. Now, I get it, when the game comes out, you have to start a new character from when you were beta testing your character. I get that, but I don't understand why it was so difficult for them to not be able to take our beta characters and transfer them over to the second beta test, considering the fucking fact that we were only going to be playing the beta again for one weekend, and now if you're on the Xbox One, you got one extra day than the guys that were on the PS4. So I don't understand why it was so difficult for them to not be able to do that, why we had to start over with a whole new character. So with the second beta test on the way, we had to start over with a whole new character, and they didn't even give us new options to create new characters with. They were the same options for male and female. When you finally picked who you created, which personally I picked the same guy I created the first time, you started literally all over again. All the missions you had to redo. All the side missions, everything like that, you started all over again. And then, but when you got to your HQ or your headquarters, you had one new wing that was opened up for you, and that was the tech wing. You still had the medical wing opened up, and you could still do the medical mission where you had to get the doctor and all that. And then they opened up the tech wing, and there was a tech wing mission that you had to go do, which I personally liked that one more than the hospital one. I found it a lot funner, a little bit more challenging. Not too much more, but just a little bit more challenging. I really enjoyed that mission. But that was really it that they really gave to us. I did notice that I got a couple of more guns that I didn't get the first time through on the beta test, but that could have just been, well, I just never got that drop. I'm not sure. Everything else I had before, so that was the really frustrating part. This time around, I didn't play it all weekend. I only played it up until the point that I started noticing that they really didn't give us all too much more on this beta test, except for basically one mission and maybe more weapons, maybe different gear, still the same attachments for the weapons. So I didn't really notice too much of a difference, and I didn't want to waste too much time playing it on this beta, considering the fact that we're going to be starting all over again. So if you played it through the first time, the first weekend, the first beta test, you played it through that, and if you played it through this beta test, well, you got to start all over again in about a week and a half anyways. So as much as I've been waiting for this game to come out, I didn't want to do it 3 times just because, I don't know, to me it just gets repetitive. It gets kind of like annoying, so I didn't really keep on playing as much as I did before through the first beta test. So after I got done with the first tech mission, I jumped straight into the DZ, or the Dark Zone. And for anybody that didn't play the beta test and you're watching this for the first time, the Dark Zone is basically where the virus kind of concentrated at. and it's been quarantined off, and you can go in there, and it's basically the PvP zone. And that was another thing that irritated me with the second beta test, is that they didn't expand the PvP zone. But before we get into that, so when you first go into the first door into the dark zone, or the DZ, you have vendors, and there's a few vendors in the dark zone that you can go to, and there's actually like hidden vendors also inside of the dark zone that you have to search out. And these vendors will give you, you know, weapons and gear and pretty good stuff that you can use. And then you also, your level system, you got a level system that's outside the dark zone, and then you got a level system that's in the dark zone. And that the dark zone level system will raise or lower depending on your outcome while you're in the dark zone. So once you're in the dark zone, you can engage other players if you want to, but you don't have to. It's not required. You can actually play along with other players and team up with people that you don't even know and not even mic'd up with. And go around and kill like cleaners and random mobs and stuff like that. And there's actually loot boxes that you can hunt out too, but you need keys for those, and you have to hunt down the keys. Once you get the gear, you go to an extraction point. There's a couple of minutes for the helicopter to come in. The helicopter drops down a rope from above. You attach the gear that you got that's in like this bag, and once it's extracted out for you, you can go back to your HQ outside of the dark zone and retrieve the gear. There's like a little storage box that's in your HQ that you can go to that will hold all your dark zone gear for you. Now, what I personally like to do is, once I'm in there and I'm running around collecting gear, if you look on your map, you'll see a skull pop up with like a red background or a red skull, and those are PV or players that turned on other players and went rogue. And I love hunting those guys down and taking their gear and extracting that shit out. That's really fun to me. Every once in a while, I'll be an asshole. I'll be a fucking douchebag or a dickhead, whatever you want to call it. And I'll open up on a group of people, or, you know, some random dude that's just running through the streets, and I'll just open up on them and take them out. Every once in a while. It all depends on how much fun I want to have. But it doesn't happen too often. I normally go after the rogue guys. So, but like I said, I only played it for maybe a night into a day, maybe a whole day worth of game playing on the second beta test. I didn't really put too much effort into it. Overall with the game, I thought the graphics were pretty decent. They weren't something to, you know, really fucking go, woo, this game's gonna be badass graphic wise. I didn't think it was gonna be like that. From what I've talked to with other players, if you get the game on PC, the graphics will blow your mind. This game was more designed for the PC than it was for the consoles, for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. So if you have the option of buying this game and you're actually looking to dedicate a lot of time to this game, I would personally buy it on the PC than on a console. I'm buying this game right now on the Xbox One just because I've got more people that are buying it on the Xbox One versus the PlayStation 4, so that when we go online, we'll have a decent team online at all times, just to have fun playing the game. You know, I got a handful of people on the PlayStation 4 that's buying the game also, but I just feel like the Xbox One is probably going to be the better fit for me on this one. It's just a personal preference. I might end up buying it on the PC depending on how well I like the game on the console, just to see the difference in the graphics, because my graphics cards on my rig can definitely support this game and much others. So I'm not too worried about that. The controls were pretty easy. The only frustrating part that I had with the controls was when you're running and you came up to like a low wall or a table or a car or something like that. I found it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be to go over that barrier, or jump over the barrier. The dive dodge thing was all right. Other than that, for a third-person post-apocalyptic shooter-up game, I thought it was pretty good. I'm looking forward to see how well of an open-world terrain that they put into this game, considering for how long they've been pushing this game back. This game better blow some fucking people's minds. I mean, like, literally, this better be a fucking good game for how long they've been pushing this back. And UB, I mean, in my opinion, over the last year or two, there really hasn't been too many fucking games that I'd be like, yeah, I'm keeping this, you know. And that's just my personal opinion. I have nothing against UB. I think UB's a really good studio. But some of the games that they have pushed out over the last couple of years, in my opinion, was absolute shit. So hopefully this game will redeem them in my eyes. So, alright guys, this is my review for the Division beta test, the second go around. Like I said, we got about a week and a half, less than 2 weeks for the actual game to come out, and I'm looking forward to that. So hopefully guys, I'll be doing some live streaming on the Division once it comes out. Other than that guys, keep gaming it up. Don't stop gaming. Keep those controllers charged, and I'll see you guys on the screen. Peace.